So it's 30-minute missions again, and this time it's about bringing this up to this. Some solid Gundam-style flair right here. Now let's check them out. Hey, what is up everyone? And we've been hit by wave number 3 of the 30-minute mission kits, and I have to admit, I love these things. I do wish they'd make a third kind though. This is my 5th time building the Alto and my 5th time building the Porta Nova, so I would like to see a third type sometime soon, but still, these are so fast to build and pretty damn awesome. So what we're looking at today is this, which is the red Alto. So this is exactly the same as the standard Altos we saw before. This time it's in red, and this does color match the red Porta Nova we saw before. So if you buy both of these, you can put the parts together and make your own custom, which is awesome. We're also going to be looking at the blue Porta Nova. This color matches the blue Alto that we saw before. So all these parts, the same darker blue, same powder blue, same inner frame, everything as that Alto we saw before. So once again, you can swap parts, make a custom. I'm seeing a pattern here. We'll also be looking at some new armor kits. As you can tell, this has been opened before. It's a bit busted there. There's actually nothing on the runners anymore, but look at that. That is totally harnessing that Gundam vibe. That little mouthpiece, the kind of V-fin there. If you want your Alto to look a little more dynamic, a little bit cooler, then this is the option armor for Commander. So we've got this in white. We also have it here in black. This one I haven't cut out so I can show it to you on the runners and what it's like to put together. Once again, as usual, it is extremely simple. Next up then we've got this, which is the option backpack 1. So that does mean we're probably going to be seeing some more option packs. This is pretty much a kind of striker pack. I love this, and some posed hands. Pretty cool. And lastly then, in here we've got the multi-booster unit, which is another kind of backpack or leg parts. This is pretty cool. I won't lie, I've built this already, so I know exactly what it's like. I also stood in the box while drunk, so that's why it's busted. But either way, this I love. So let's check them all out, try them all out together, and see what we've got. So once again, this video right here would not be possible without those absolutely awesome people over at Hobby Link Japan, so if you do want some of your own, link down there in the description. So first off in here we've got this, and that is the red version of the Alto. So I will mention the first thing that disappointed me about this. I kind of guessed this would be the way when I saw the, well, that this kit would actually be in red and not that dark kind of Shiden maroon I was expecting from those initial photos we did see pre-release. So I did think it would be something like this right here, but it isn't. This shade up on the shoulder is more close to this, but all in all, this isn't the mini Shiden I hoped it would be. But all in all, I won't let that take away from the fact that this is still an absolutely awesome looking version of the Alto. It's the same as what we saw before, just in a different shade of color. Of course, it is color matched to the Porta Nova we saw before. My Porta Nova, which is this one right here. With this, I did swap out the joints with one of the other Porta Novas because I didn't particularly like the purple-red combo so much. I thought this looked a lot better, and that was a suggestion from the Mecha Gaikotsu Discord, so I'll take absolutely no credit for that. But all in all, I like its bootleg Shiden feel. As for weapons, it comes rocking the same familiar things we've seen before. That, of course, is this submachine gun right here. I love this little weapon design. The front section can pop off and be used with the weapon kits, like we saw before. We've also got the knuckle in here, but once again, this is just a glorified handle for the weapon kits. It's not really all that exciting on its own, but still, it is nice to have that little close-range weapon as well. Lastly then, here we've got his little friend, the Roy. This time that's in that very dark maroon color, but once again, exactly the same as what we saw before. Let's check out the Porta Nova. So next up then we've got the blue version of the Porta Nova. Once again, this is essentially just a combination of this guy here. Physically, it's exactly the same as the standard Porta Novas. Well, it is a standard Porta Nova, just with the colors of this guy right here. And once again, this is an exact, and I mean exact color match. Ignoring the extra armor parts and weapon parts on here, those two colors are identical, so that means let's kit bash them. So now this right here is becoming a little bit like a recipe. We've got our blue Porta Nova, our blue Alto. Make sure they're free range and corn-fed. But besides that, things get a little more interesting now because colors are starting to match, not just with these guys, but also with the armor sets. Here's the light blue Porta Nova armor, which matches the blue on there. We've got the dark blue Porta Nova armor, which matches the dark blue on there. We've got the gray Porta Nova armor, which matches the gray of the backpack as well as the weapons. For example, I stuck this on, just like in the instructions, onto the side of one of the weapon kits, and it matches well and looks quite cool. So that was a shield from the armor part attached to a rifle from the weapon kit, so lots of options. And we also have the dark gray Alto armor. This doesn't really match anything on the kits per se, but it's definitely a color you'll get away with these kits. It matches more so the kind of dark gray on the dark gray versions, like the dark gray Porta Nova and the upcoming dark gray Alto. So we've got a lot to play around with here. Weapon kits, Roys, more weapons, and more weapons. So let's bash them. So first off, we're going to act like we've only got the 2 sets here, as if you bought just both of those and what you can get between them. I will mention that all the joints on these guys, the ankles, the knee, the hip, waist, everything, including the neck, are identical. The only thing that really is different here is the individual armor parts. So you will be able to take the upper arm of one, attach it with the lower arm of the other, upper leg of, maybe the upper leg and lower leg mightn't fit because they are kind of fitted to the armor, like you can see there, and you can see there. So I guess we'll see. So what I'm just going to do is take the parts I prefer of one and add it to the parts of the other. For example, I like the Porta Nova's legs, not so much its feet. I like the Alto's feet, and the legs I do like, but not as much as these cool looking ones here. So let's bash those. So pop, 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 and pop. So there we go, we've got our legs. So because it's gone Alto, Porta Nova, we might as well go Alto for the crotch. So there we go, pretty much Alto with some buff legs. Instead of thinking too much about it, let's just go Alto, Porta Nova, Alto, and Porta Nova. There we go. So next up, some Porta Nova arms, 1 and 2, Alto shoulders, 1 and the second. Then finish that all off with the cherry on top, the Alto head. And let's give the Alto backpack, because it's got that Porta Nova bod. There we go. So there we go, there's the finished kit bash, and I think this actually turned out pretty well. It just kind of looks like a buff Alto. I guess the head, in the end, kind of gives it the vibe of what one it kind of looks like. All in all, pretty happy with that. As for the second one, this actually turned out a lot better than I expected. I actually like it a lot more than I thought I would. So all in all, once again, this does have that Porta Nova vibe, once again because of the head. But why stay so tame when you've got something like these that are so fun and so variable? Let's try something crazier. So the optional armor sets come with these double doodads, which link 3mm hole to 3mm hole, so let's go mad with scientific power. Off with the backpacks, in with the double doodads, attach this torso on like a backpack, and there we go, blue Alto rebake. Sadly, this didn't work out as well as I hoped because the 3mm pegs are a bit loose in these particular backpack holes, sadly. How about some spider mode, connecting them together like that? Just using one of those staggered adapters because they don't have the same butthole. If you get 2 Altos, it'd be a lot simpler than that. And I threw a shield up here to block the fact that it's an empty torso hole. So all in all, that's pretty fun. Again though, out of the box, this could hold a little bit better. Anyway, moving on. Black background engage. So in with the white Alto, and let's use those new optional armor parts to Gundamify it. So here's an example of what the parts look like on the runner. We've got a chest, head, V-fin, shoulders, shield, and on this runner here we've got some more of the shield as well as some optional shoulder holdy bits. So that right there is everything that comes in one of these armor sets. In the back, of course, is the black set. On the front there is the white set, and let's start off with the white ones on the white Alto. So first off comes the chest segment, the central part of the shoulders, because with the Alto that's all you change out, and then the front of the face. So we're gonna go from Jim directly to Gundam here. So there is that chest segment. Looks like it moves fast. Next up then we've got those big old pointy shoulders to make them look important. I absolutely love it when mecha have that big shoulder to waist ratio. I think it makes them look awesome. So this completely changes the shape and the feel of the Alto. And of course, the piece de resistance, which has eye holes, not that big old sensor face, pops on just like that. Looking pretty rad. Now this right here is a mobile suit the White Wolf Eniacal would be proud of. I mean, this almost looks straight up like the G-Bouncer. That's pretty awesome. Honestly, I absolutely love this. This looks so damn cool. The only real letdown I find is the eyes don't really pop as much as I'd like them to. The clear parts in there are a little bit lost, but all in all, it does have that kind of Gundam feel. What would this look like if it was built in Gundam colors? Actually, before I get ahead of myself, let's give this guy a quick spin so we can see it from all angles. Once again, I love that flared out shoulder to narrow waist ratio. The new head is cool, but it would be nice to see those clear parts through that. Maybe if you put some kind of like foil or something behind the clear parts, it may pop a little bit better, but all in all, still looks awesome. So if you're up for a little bit of high contrast, there is the black armor on the white Alto. I also threw on the white shield as well because I forgot the last time, just so you can see what that looks like. And this black is as black as it can get. And I mean, it's so black there's not so much you could do. Well, there's not much simple you could do to kind of highlight that, bring out the detail and whatever. But what they have done here on the instructions is they have panel lined that with silver, and that looks pretty damn cool. There's another example around on the back of it highlighted in silver, and that is definitely something worth trying. It could be white, but I think it's silver. Looking good. So next up in here is the option backpack 1, aka the 30-minute mission striker pack. So that just comes on 2 runners, just like you can see here. Already cut them out. So in this pack of 30-minute missions DLC, what we get is 2 wings with thrusters, as well as 2 of these larger thruster units. And to me, one of the most awesome aspects, our first set of posed 30-minute mission hands. So first up, as for the Wegs! Oh man. Wings! What we got is a thruster on the back. The wing itself looks a bit small for carrying that, but anyway. We do have 2 different pegs here for different styles of attachment. The same goes for this little thruster segment. We've got 2 little pegs for, again, different types of attachment, as well as 1 hole either side. This does have a bit of articulation, so it can move there. We also have another hole around on the back here, and this is how the instruction says to attach it. So, of course, you can put it any way you want, but this is the way that is suggested. So, there's our Alto. That then plugs into the back like that. And there we have that wing and the thruster segment. Thruster first, wing second, and that right there is our 30-minute mission striker pack. So there we go. There is a quick spin of what it will look like with that backpack attached, as well as those posed hands, which are in a kind of relaxed, widespread way. All in all, this thing right here has gone from grunt to ace unit in just 2 option sets. That is pretty damn cool. I love this. This is pretty damn awesome right here. And that's not all. I've left my favorite one till last. But of course, before I move on to that, I will mention there is multiple ways to assemble this. This now is attached via the thrusters with the wings attached up top, where you can kind of bring it up over the shoulders like so. So even though it is a simple little kit, there's a lot of variation to it. So while we continue to soup up this Alto right here, this is what's next. This is the multi-booster unit. As you can see from the box here, it can be used as a backpack, or even better, a pair of big old rocket legs. Giving me a bit of a Reagan Lays Julia vibe there. I can tell you already, these are going to be awesome. So I've actually been so excited about these already. I've been playing around with them for days already. So this is what comes in the box. We've got the legs themselves, these little side units, as well as some kneecaps. Also, these little joint sections here are just for the backpack. But anyway, let's get the backpack version out of the way first. I will mention though, this backpack we saw already is in the same shade of gray as the backpack and the weapons. However, this right here is in a darker shade. So the same as one of the armor packs we would have seen before, as well as the dark gray Porta Nova. And I assume that means the Alto too. These have multiple points of articulation. These little segments here can open out. I'm not sure if these would open out while it's boosting, hovering. I'm not sure. Would it focus in like this when it's boosting faster? Would it move out when boosting faster? I don't know. What do you think? Anyway, we've got a bend here at this kind of knee-ish section. And up here, this little joint is just for using it as a backpack, but that also has some pivot right there like that. But anyway, let's crack it on. These just pop into the holes on the backpack. Well, this is the standard way to attach them. You can attach them anywhere you want. You could attach them for, I don't know, onto the arms if you wanted to, but there we go as a backpack. So there's a quick look at what they look like as a backpack. They do look a little bit odd. They stick out quite a bit, but maybe if you've got a bunch of other armor, a bits attached on here and stuff like that, they won't look so kind of sticky outy. But they can move like this. A lot of articulation to them. They also have that bend here like this, so you could have them as a higher up variant like that, but again, looking a little odd. I really do feel these right here were built to be legs. So to use these as legs, you have to pop off this segment here, leaving you with this here, which is the same joint as in the legs. Then just by pulling this little segment off like this, the legs just detach like so. You're also going to want to get rid of those kneecaps because we've got nice, big, old, fancy new kneecaps. So now we've got them prepped for the legs. Nice one, Spooky. They just snap on like so. that little joint cover section again locks back into place like this. So there we go, there they are attached, and these look absolutely awesome. Big old rocket legs. This Alto is ready to get airborne. I have to admit, I absolutely love these. This is a cool addition. I would love to see these in other colors that match the different colors of the Alto and Porta Nova. Of course, these can be used on the Porta Nova. I'll do that in a minute. And I will use them on the darker one so you can see what that looks like. As for the articulation, we've got a killer bend at the knee right there. That bends all the way up. That might be a little hard to see. I'll try and angle it downwards to catch some of the light. A secondary bend down here, like so. That looks a little something like that right there. And bent all the way up. I guess he can, well, scorch himself. Seriously, I've got to give this guy that other backpack once again. Pop that up there. Oh man, I totally forgot you do have these side armor segments. As part of the instructions, they pop on the sides like so, but like everything in these kits, you can put them wherever the hell you want. So that is more like it, and looking even more awesome. Let's equip this guy with some heavier weapons. There's one, there's two. Give him a shield as well for that extra protection. Honestly, these little additional sets are awesome. This thing's gone from grunt to ace unit to final boss mode right here. Rocket legs, backpack, heavy weapons, shields. This thing is looking awesome. So until now, I've been completely focusing on the Alto, so let's try some of this stuff with the Porta Nova. So the main thing I'll mention is the hands that come with the backpack unit. None of these match the colors of any of the available Porta Novas that are out right now. As you can see, his inner frame is purple. Actually, this is the inner frame, or should I say, joint sections of the red Porta Nova. But honestly, I don't think that, you know, it makes that much of a difference if the hands don't match. I still think that looks absolutely fine. Like, his other hand is an axe. So I guess it matches the axe. So the only thing that those hands match is the white Alto. All the rest so far doesn't match. Of course, the backpack unit can be attached onto this guy. It is worth noting there's 4 holes in the backpack of the Porta Nova, which means it is a little more versatile, so I'm gonna go top and bottom with these. Ooh, spinal issues. So there is that attached right there. Earlier on, I said that this color matched the color on these gray guys, but that is not the case. It's a little more darker, a little less blue than the dark gray, I guess. But we will throw them on to have a look anyway. And finally, that right there is what a Porta Nova will look like with all that stuff thrown onto it. And all I can say is, this looks awesome. This is my Porta Nova Sky Axe Hands Custom. What a bad name. But anyway, I absolutely love these. These are awesome, and I cannot wait to see what they're going to release next. I hope there's going to be more backpacks, more leg packs. But even still, this right here is like the gunpla equivalent of Lego. Building them the way you're meant to build them is fun, but the real absolute fun is just pulling them apart and putting them together whatever way you want. Anyway, if you do want some of your own, there's a link down there in the description. There will be another one of these videos coming up as the next batch comes out. If there's anything you'd like to see in that video, anything in particular, drop it in the comments. And as always, thank you so much for watching. See you next time. So once again, this video right here would not be possible without the support of all you guys, whether you watch my videos, help out with the channel memberships, and on Patreon. So all my thanks to you guys, including my top patrons, Bolwick, Vex, Samuel Sebastian, and Kaiser721.